St. Andrew United Methodist Church was beginning to get concerned about the immigrant community around us. Began organizing ESL classes. In fact, that's how I was attracted to St. Andrew Church. The immigration ministry at St. Andrew United Methodist Church, I think, began in a Methodist conference on Hispanic ministry at Garrett Evangelical Theological Seminary. I think it was in 2003, and about 2004 we began. I think we had 2 clients in 2004. The next year in 2005, I think we had maybe 10 or 15 clients. 2006, it just began to explode, word of mouth. Since then have probably served, in terms of actually filing immigration cases with United States Immigration Services, perhaps served 300 families, a great majority of whom have been approved. St. Andrew United Methodist Church has been absolutely wonderful in hosting this ministry. The way immigration law works, family immigration law, is that a U.S. citizen or a permanent resident of the United States can petition for relatives, certain relatives. When the petitions are approved, then applications for permanent residency or the green card can be made. Like a U.S. citizen can apply for a parent who is living abroad, can petition for a parent. A U.S. citizen can petition for a brother or sister or a child. So then that puts the person on the pathway to U.S. citizenship, and we've done many, many U.S. citizenship applications. There are many undocumented immigrants here in the United States, possibly 12, 13 million. These immigrants are really the most vulnerable. Previously to 2001, if an undocumented immigrant, for example, married a citizen or even another or a permanent resident, that person could petition for the undocumented spouse. And the law then allowed the spouse to pay a $1,000 fine for their unlawful presence in the United States, but they still had a pathway to get to residency and citizenship. So family petitions that were filed before that date, March 30th, April 30th, 2001, we can still do something. We can still apply for residency for that person. Any petition filed after April 2001, April 30th, unfortunately, that law expired and our Congress hasn't deemed to renew it. The only way that we can help undocumented immigrants now, there are 2 ways that I can think of. One is what is called a U visa, a visa which allows a non-undocumented person who is the victim of a crime and who has cooperated with the police and the prosecutors in bringing the criminal to justice. With the petitioning of the police department or the prosecuting attorney, the immigrant can receive this U visa, and that puts them on the pathway to residency and ultimate citizenship. The other way is the Violence Against Women Act, VAWA, where an undocumented person married either to a U.S. citizen abuser or a permanent resident abuser can self-petition, which means that a petitioner is not required, but can self-petition and be on the way to residency and U.S. citizenship. And we've had some U-visa cases, and we've had some VAWA cases as well. Anyone who is undocumented in this country needs to live in the shadows, and they're vulnerable to arrest for traffic violations, and then they're in trouble. They can be in trouble with immigration, and they can be deported, and that happens, unfortunately, too often, splitting families and tearing parents away from children. It's a very, very sad situation. We have been very, very impressed with particularly the Old Testament commandments about caring for the foreigner, for the alien in your midst. In fact, I have this verse from Deuteronomy 10:17-19, which says that our God shows no partiality and accepts no bribes. He defends the cause of the fatherless and the widow, and loves the foreigner. Loves the foreigner residing among you, giving them food and clothing. If our God that we serve loves the foreigner, can we hate the foreigner? Can we not respond to the needs of the foreigner? And the need for immigration benefit is I think one of the most felt needs in the immigrant community in the U.S. And when we've responded to it, we've seen such relief and liberation